Gordon is our bureau chief in Park City, Utah. Thank you, one and all. And, of course, Dick is in Dayton, Ohio. What's going on, Dick?
Oh, Bill, Mary, and Alan, I want to say a prayer. My aunt on my dad's side, she was the last one left. She died at North Ridgeville Monday morning at 7 o'clock, and it's going to be at Bogner Funeral Home, and my cousin called, and I saw the picture. She didn't really look sick, but she was she loved all of us, and they wrote a nice little thing about her, but my condolences to my Aunt Ann that loved me.
What do you mean? What do you mean she was the last one?
The last starfighter.
Of all of Dad's family, let's see, Aunt Nellie died.
Oh, she did?
And then there was
When did that happen?
my Uncle Carl. He died.
Oh, God. Carl's gone, too?
2004. Uncle Tony was 1988. My cousin Kurt from Cleveland was 2000. I think it was 2000. So, we had a good family, Alan. You know, that just that my cousin called me. He lives in Westlake. That she's going to miss probably all of us that, you know, played music and the good times there in Wellington. And, you know, it's just kind of a sad day. I just hate to see something like it happen, you know.
Did she come out to your gigs?
All the time. Where we went there
Seems
in
unlikely.
North Ridgeville, she had a home on Center Ridge Drive. Oh, yeah. She had parties for her brothers and her nephews and nieces. Yeah, we were always taught, you know,
So, yeah?
playing around, you know. Yeah, it was nice.
How old was she?
100 years old.
Wow. Well, then she had a good run, right? I mean, it was. My grandmother died at 102 years old. My grandmother died today in 2016.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Bless her.
August the 11th.
Yeah.
Almost.
August
2 weeks
the
away
11th.
from her 103rd birthday. So that's a good
And,
run,
you know,
Dick.
My cousin called me from Texas. He was from malaria. And it's
He had
funny,
malaria?
Malaria.
Oh. Wow.
He's in mourning. Alan,
I'm
damn it.
sorry. I thought she died of malaria.
No. My uncle Tony would have had a birthday. He'd have been 114, August 27th. And my
114. When do you stop counting?
yeah, when do you stop count? And my let's see. I was thinking my other cousin. He's going to be. Let's see. He's going to be 63. Well, there's 11 years difference.
Dick is hanging on by a thread.
So
Wow, yeah.
We played a nice ukulele gig today, and
No such thing.
we had about 100 people. I'm telling you, it was outside. Everybody, it was for
It was outside. There
it
were
was for,
gravestones.
somebody had an 85th birthday, and we just rocked the house, buddy.
Dick, will you play at your aunt's funeral?
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't get up there. I wish I could, but I can't get up there that quick. You know.
I understand.
But, yeah, you know, I think music is good for me. You know, everybody said it. I've been jamming. I've even gone to bluegrass. Yeah, now I'm learning to play country, so I get it all together. There's country, bluegrass, and banjo music. It all, I think, works together. Well, that's the latest. Have a good day.
Everybody have Dick tonight.
I want to bring back Dead Air Dick. That's I gotta. Wow. All right. Well, malaria. I can't even play around with it. Ah. Yeah. All right.
God, it really was. We had a family member die a couple weeks ago, and it really kind of just made me realize, because my mom was telling me on the phone, because I didn't go to the funeral. I didn't really know him. I don't even think I met him once in my life, but he was like a great uncle or something like that. And my mom was
How
telling
do you know he was great?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like he was very great.
You said you barely knew him. Which is it?
Oh, okay, he was an uncle down the line.
Yeah.
And my mom made it clear. She's like, wow, my generation is like the last generation. Like, we are now the old people. And I don't know, it just kind of scared me. I'm like, wow, I'm the adults that when I was going to funerals as a kid, I would look up and see like, oh wow, like it's not their time yet. But like my mom's getting up there in age, all her relatives are up there in age. I am not prepared to watch these people who raised me die.
Yeah, I would not have guessed that my dad, between Gwen and I would not, and my ex-wife, she has both of her parents still, my former in-laws. I would not have guessed that I would be the first one mourning the death of a parent, because my ex-wife has both her parents. Gwen has her dad, her mom, and her stepmom, and I have my mom. So from that perspective, I think, wow, we got to go through this a bunch of times at various points on the curve. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. My grandmother was the middle child of 9. There were 5 girls and 4 boys, and she outlived all of them, and 2 husbands. Her brothers all died before they were 50. They had heart attacks. And her sisters died one by one until it was just my grandmother at 102. And she was ready to go, as you might expect. She was lucid and still living by herself.
But that's a good 102, though. Like, there's people that are ready to go.
It's a good 102.
And they're at like 76. And I'm like, wow.
It depends on your circumstances, too. I mean, some people are in really bad shape. I mean, they're ready to go. My grandmother, though, was a devout Catholic and a God-fearing woman. And you have to think at some point, she was still saying like daily rosaries and stuff. At some point when you're 102, you got to be laying there going, "What are you waiting for?" If you think if you think that the Lord is going to come take you to your great reward, you're sitting there like, "Can you just speed it up?"
See, it's like with my family.
See, I don't believe in any of that, so I want to live as long as I can because that's it.
My family's like all poor, so when we die, Again, it's the one time where the whole family gets together. We don't do family reunions or anything like that. And everyone's pulling together.
Funerals are the only time for people to catch up.
It's the only time we ever see.
Hey, I'm going to see you again. Auntie Edith died. All right, see you there.
Like, I got my immediate family, and then, like, my extended family extends to, like, my aunt, my little cousin, and now her husband and her child. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, she's right. We are, like, responsible for, my brother and I are pretty much responsible for keeping our extended family together, because I have a bunch of cousins, but none that I talk to on a daily basis, not even people I talk to on a monthly or yearly basis. We're friends on Facebook. We know each other's alive because we haven't heard anything different, and that's pretty much it. I envy the families that get together on holidays, like extended family, come stays for, the week. We never did that. We never like stayed the weekend and flew in to visit someone for holidays. My family's like, we just don't do that. We don't know what's going on in each other's lives. So it just kind of scared me a bit. I'm like, damn.
Ask Cody if he remembers the nail gun fights at JVS his junior year.
I was just going to say that. I don't remember nail gun fights because none of those bitches hit me with a damn nail, because I would have lost it.
You gotta love hooligans in shop class. Hey, here are some kids who can barely function in any other part of life. Let's give them power tools and sharp implements and see what happens.
They did do that. They didn't do it to me. What they did to me was stuff that I could fight back with. We had staple gun fights because we had staples. I could deal with that. Staple, it'll get in your shirt and it'll bounce right off. You ain't about to get me with no nail. I got all this glass on my face. I already can't see, and you gonna try and take my eye out even more? No.
People were giving me their nail gun stories in the break.
It's so gruesome. Like, I don't like playing like that. I'm really surprised I got through all of carpentry 2 years and didn't injure myself.
Too. I can't believe you're on one piece from a carpentry class.
Looking back on it, like, oh my gosh, there's so many cringeworthy stuff, like where my stomach falls. Just my stomach falls thinking about it, because I had a hoodie that I would wear all the time. It was like, some people had their Letterman jackets. I had my carpentry hoodie with like my name and like my stuff on it. And I had the little straps dangling, or the little hoodie strings dangling while I'm like using a table saw. And I'm thinking like, oh, if that would have got caught in there, like... I didn't tie it up or anything. I always thought it looked so nerdy because they looked like little bolo ties. There was a bunch of kids in class tying up their strings to their hoodie. I was just like, what you doing that for? Utterly clueless. I could have just been butchered. And
Yeah, they wanted to see you get dragged into something.
but the thing is, I tried. I was so distracted. I was so repressed. I tried to just be this man, and that messes you up inside. You're willing to go that far.
But it also doesn't sound like you even accidentally learned anything in there.
I did learn a lot of stuff.
Oh.
You didn't retain any of it because you didn't try to continue it.
Can you make a dovetail joint?
Probably if I tried hard enough.
Alan, I was nailing jack studs together on sawhorses, and the nail split the 2x4. And I thought that the nail had just spun around and hit me in the crotch.
No.
But when I looked down, it was sticking out of my pants, and I had shot myself in the penis.
Oh my God, no. See, this is stuff that makes me queasy. That's why I couldn't do it anymore.
Nuts.
Yeah. Somebody's at the game in Detroit against the Guardians, and they said, hey, Alan, they have a stand here for fire-roasted almonds, so I guess they're retiring hot nuts from there. Maybe we've reached peak hot nuts. I know they're still doing it at the Great Lakes Ren Fair, but... Yeah. The old... How many times have we heard the classic 2x4 split on the jack stud sawhorse shot in penis with a nail gun story?
Tale as old as time.
As old as time. Passed down from generation to generation.
Guardians are up 3-1 right now.
Hey,
Top of the ninth.
oh, there you go. Almost done.
Did the person that texted you about carpentry at JVS say who they were?
No, it just said it was more the senior class that was in trouble from that. He said,
God.
I don't know if he remembers it, but it was more the senior
They
class.
were
that was in
always in trouble. They were the troublemakers. Senior carpentry would get into fights all the time, and they were essentially like a gang. They would get in trouble for like smoking pot in class and taking the Bobcat out for a joyride. Like they were always doing something.
Yeah, because you're almost out, so you're kind of like.
And if you have a job lined up, I guess you did.
Yeah, maybe.
God bless Mr. Gresco. He really tried with me.
Mr. Crisco?
Gresco. He was like a prophet. He was the closest thing I ever had to like those father figure teachers. Like he was the closest thing I had to that. And he tried. He knew I had the will to want it, but I just couldn't do it. I just remember the day that I was out because I had swine flu. I came back and everyone had like their walls built. And he was like, all right, let's see what you can do. And then I did.
See what you can do.
I tried to emulate everybody else's, and mine was all leaning. It looked like it was mine, but just with a little bit of, I don't know, it baked a little too long, and it just was leaning over a bit.
I was working construction with one of my brothers, this person says. My little brother was climbing a ladder with a stapler, and he accidentally stapled his nipple.
Oof. Oh, it's a nipple. Get a piercing after that. Who cares?
Alan, we were making Chinese stars out of sheet metal. I can't believe nobody was severely injured. Yeah, all the things that you do, like I guess that's the time to do them. Like I was always a cautious child.
Yeah.
So I was never doing things like that. I would look at things and go, "Oh, that could go wrong," and I don't want to. But I saw friends of mine getting hurt and looked like they were having fun in the process. It just wasn't for me.
I learned my lesson when we had a bunch of like BB guns and they're like pistols, and it was empty. At least I thought it was, and I was like, I shot it a bunch of times and nothing came out, and then I wanted to feel like the air pressure because it had like
oh no!
And I shot it, and then nothing came out, and then I did it again, and a BB came out and went into my hand, and after that I got pretty careful about things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, there was a guy that
I was
lost
probably 11 or 12 when I did that.
There was a kid that lost part of his, I don't know if it was his finger or his thumb. One of
my
his,
dad's like, oh, I'll get it out. And I was like, no.
Let me go get my pliers,
Yeah.
my needle nose pliers. You can leave us messages, by the way, if you listen to the show on the iHeartRadio app. There's a little talkback button there.
Hey, Alan, hate the show. I'm really confused about this this Cincinnati incident where the guy attacked the FBI field office. With all the recent things in the Supreme Court, it just strikes me as so crazy that first they go after female bodies, and now they're going after all the female body inspectors. I don't understand it.
Boobs.
Yeah, that's a good hot take there.
Boobs.
The female body inspector field office was attacked by a guy in Cincinnati. They followed him they snapped him up in Wellington, Ohio. Is that closer to us than it's straight up 71?
That's
right?
not far. That's like close to Poundcake's stomping ground.
All right.
That's my second home.
Somebody said Wellington is where they got that.
He got pretty far then.
He got real far. He was probably
From Cincinnati? Yeah.
Yeah. He's in Lorain County.
Wow. Well, that's something. Alan Cox Show After Hours line. If you're not listening on the app or whatever, you can always leave us messages there. It is, what is the number? 216-986-8903.
Hey guys, it's Albert here. First of all, even though I've asked Alan 2 or 3 times, I don't think he did, but if you did, you can take me off the temporary bureau chief for New Mexico, Albuquerque, because I'm finally heading home after 8 long months.
He's asked me 2 or 3 times? What does that mean?
Maybe he thought you still had him on there.
I didn't. Okay.
Back to my point. I'm on the road right now, and just listening to Poundcake, and not the biggest fan of him, but the effort he puts
It's always backhanded.
It's fine.
into nonsense when it comes to celebrities. You know, the fake thing about the Ricky Martin stuff he was talking about. It's always the NDAs and trying to get masters. I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. Can we just ponder for 1 second, if he put in 50% of this effort into his, professional life, he'd probably be in New York with his own show making tons of money. I don't know. It's very frustrating to hear someone that old, he is almost 30, with that young of a mindset of the celebrities. It's not that important.
Shut your ass up.
No one cares. Why do you care so much? I just want to understand. All right, love you guys. Bye.
Why does Albert care so much?
We were talking about it. It's not like...
But also, what's the matter with keeping your mind young?
And also,
But it came up in conversation.
It sounds like he cares a lot about it.
but the stuff that Poundcake is interested in, he talks about on his podcast, and he can go in depth on it, and he has his opinions on it, and that's where his focus is. And he does all that, and he's not in New York making a ton of money.
Yeah, and according to Albert, it only takes 5 years to get from college radio to New York, making a ton of money. I can attest to that personally. Only 5 years.
No, I talk about... That's the one time where I'm like, finally, I can contribute to something other than or a laugh or something, something that's going to come back to bite me. I'm like, okay, celebrity stuff, I got that. There was a tweet that was sent out yesterday or a couple days ago. There was a listener that said, I just got it. Bill does Perez Bilton and talks about celebrity gossip, and Poundcake does the sports break because it's not their thing. It's completely switched. How cool. And I was like, yeah. But how cool. But yeah, celebrity stuff, my mind has been consumed with that far longer than I've been in radio. So I might as well put it to my professional life. This is my professional life.
What do they always say in any creative endeavor? Whatever you are genuinely interested in will resonate with people, or at least you'll find your audience, right? These are the things. It's like things that I think of. I have to have a natural enthusiasm for something. I can't manufacture enthusiasm. So all the things that I talk about are things that interest me. They might not interest the audience, but that's a temporary thing, and you can whatever. I can't manufacture enthusiasm.
In your entire career, you've never manufactured something, like you had to boost something that you weren't really too excited about?
What do you mean?
Like you never talked about a topic that you weren't genuinely interested in?
No, why would I? It's a waste of time. I'm wasting the audience's time.
I don't know.
Why would I talk about something I'm not interested in?
I'm pretty sure I've talked about things I was not interested in, but my
Why
audience...
do that?
Why would we do something like promote something that we're not interested in if it's not interesting to us? We love everything that we promote, like the iHeartRadio Music Festival and the iHeartRadio Music Awards.
It's our iHeartRadio Music
it's
Festival.
Ours. We're not invited, but it's ours.
No, because I know what you're saying, but
I'm talking about topics.
You
not
never,
events.
but you never know what the audience is going to care about. Second of all, my personal feeling has always been, you can never let the audience direct your show because they don't know what they're doing. You know what you're doing. They might know what they do or don't like, but if they could do this, they would be here doing it. So I'll never, the audience, people tell me all the time, everybody hates you. Stop doing this. Do more of this. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what you like. You know nothing about how to do what I'm doing. So, no, I would never talk about something that didn't genuinely interest me. It might be ridiculous and stupid. Granted, there's a lot of things that pique my interest.
Excited.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that pique my interest that are ridiculous. And possibly no one cares. But it's the nature of the beast.
That's why I had to jazz up the sports break, because I'm like, all right, if I just talk about sports and stats, that's nothing. That's boring.
But we don't want it for that. We want
your perspective.
Yeah,
I understand. That's why
they have pre-recorded sports breaks from people to do stuff.
And then I get genuinely curious. I'm like, what is this man's life? Why is he always getting locked up? And why? These people got millions of dollars, and I have to think that it's a big network and they're all in cahoots. They let these players act this way because then their jerseys sell for more. So that's where my mind goes, and that's why
they don't raise the price.
But
that's the conspiracy theory.
But it's his rabbit hole brain that elicits these kinds of.
I don't understand how you don't think that though. When you see a player that you didn't really know, he's just on. There's hundreds of players throughout the country on these teams. There's plenty of guys you don't know, and then their name gets splashed over TMZ because they have a DUI or whatever. All of a sudden, now they're
people are buying their jerseys for that.
Yep. I do. Now they get free advertising.
Right, but you can't plan for that.
Yes, you can. You can plan to get a DUI.
No. What I'm saying is you can't plan for the result of that. You can't go, man, if I get a DUI, people are going to buy my jersey?
It's better advertising than none at all.
But
I don't think they get a piece of their jersey sales.
And if you're in professional sports, you're part of a machinery that lives to promote things. All you'd have to do is walk up to somebody and go, "Hey, I want to do a thing here." They go, "Great, let's talk to the R&D, the marketing team. Let's put this together."
I don't know.
You probably don't have to get drunk and go out and crash your car to get. You'll be in the news, but maybe not necessarily the way you want it. And frankly, I mean, the reason that we do Perez Bilton is because we have all these inside sources. And I just can't, in good conscience, let those go to waste. I'll have those Guar tickets.
Get a small percentage of the jersey sales.
I was going to say, they're going to get a little something.
Inside sources.
But that's not where they make their big money.
Where they make their big money? Contracts?
Well, you get contracts and endorsements. And you don't get endorsements if you get a DUI. Mm-hmm. You get them taken away.
I'm endorsing for Uber because I lost my license.
I've got to take a break. I'll have those Guar tickets for you when we get back here. September 15th, just a few weeks off, they're going to do a show at the House of Blues. So if you want to check out on Guar, I'll get those for you. 35192 to text, and we'll be back.
This is the Alan Cox